going to maybe do a 50-year mortgage. Imagine what would happen if we continue to see higher inflation. The other thing to think about too, like, I mean, people talk about inflation, right? So we got inflation going on, and it's above the 2% Fed target right now. Right now, I think it's sitting around 3%, and people are concerned, like, okay, we might be sitting in a period of stagflation. We might have continual inflation. We might not be able to get back to pre-COVID levels of 2% or under. So there's all these concerns, right? And yet the government's like, hey, you know what? We're already doing a 30-year mortgage. We're going to maybe do a 50-year mortgage. Imagine what would happen if we continue to see higher inflation. And there's a good chance that we will, because one, we have an incredible amount of debt, and the only way to service that debt is to print more money, or at least the main way to do that, other than cutting spending, which we're probably not ever going to do, right? So higher inflation it's almost like, it's I don't want to say it's a guarantee, but there's a high likelihood that inflation continues to grow, because inflation, when we do have inflation, it actually lowers our debt essentially, because our dollars are worth less. So the trillions of dollars that we have in debt, it's actually nominally valued as less because we have more dollars. So it's like this magical way to kind of like get rid of some of the debt. So that being the case, we have all this inflation concerns, right? So what would happen if our dollar lost 50% of its purchasing power in the next 50 years or more? 100%, 200%, 1,000%, right? God forbid hyperinflation ever shows up here. But what if something like that happens, right? The dollar loses 90% of its purchasing power. Guess what? That 50-year interest rate that you locked in at 6%, it still holds. And even though dollars are worth almost nothing, and there's way more of them out there, you're still making your same monthly mortgage payment. Just think about the risk. Just think about the risk that the government takes on by doing this. So all that to say, when people are talking about the 50-year mortgage and how it's bad for the consumer, it's bad for the buyer, there's a little bit of legitimacy in that concern, but you have to look at the overall bigger picture. And the overall bigger picture is this is our government taking on a huge amount of inherent risk in order to provide an opportunity for people that couldn't otherwise buy a home to now be able to buy a home.